Oh, oh, Doc's freaking out. Why am I freaking out? I'm kind of freaking out because of the whole pre-emergent Poa Annua situation, and it's kind of a long story. I hope you guys will stick with me on this one, and I'll try and walk through it as fast as I can, so hold on. In the description below, I always put one link, and that link always goes to a website. And if you have any questions, like if you're looking for the lawn guides, if you're looking for the stuff I'm using, it's all, just go to that link and I'll put it all up on one page for you. Why am I freaking out? Well, you guys, most of you guys out there know that we're working on the farm project for the past 7-8 months, and we're out there 7 days a week. And Ryan actually came up with a good idea. He said, dude, you don't have time to be taking care of this backyard or this yard right now. He said, why don't we do this? Why don't we just let it go to hell? Just leave it. Don't do anything all winter to it. Let the weeds grow up. Let the Poa Annua explode as it usually does. And then we'll come back and we'll show you guys how we're going to cure that. So we did that this year. And we've got Poa Annua popping up everywhere. We haven't done anything. The yard looks like crap. So I said, hey, that's a great plan. Let's do that. Well, as you can tell, there's a storm about to hit us in about 4 or 5 hours. One of the rules of pre-emergent, now I just put up a pre-emergent video that explains how pre-emergents work, when you should apply them. You need to watch that video at this time of year. I'm not going to go into that in this video. But one of the rules is you never put pre-emergent on saturated soil. Why is that? If your soil is already saturated, like clay, water can't infiltrate. And so when you put your pre-emergent down and it rains, what runs off? The rain and the pre-emergent run off. That's one of the big mistakes people make. If it's dry and you put your pre-emergent down and it rains, what goes in first? The first part of rain and the pre-emergent goes into the soil and it locks up in that soil. And then as it rains more, just water runs off. You got it? So that's why you always put your pre-emergent down on dry soils. What's the other rule that we do? The other rule that we do, well, we actually follow in the lawn guides. Now, there's lawn guides out. Over 1 million people have used our lawn guides, by the way. And we have an individual website that's free. It's up all the time. There's calendars. There's nothing to sign up for. There's no app. We don't want your information. It's just up there. Use it. So there's one for cool season, which is freelawncareguide.com. And if you go to freelawncareguide.com, there's links to the Bermuda Lawn Guide and to the Zoysia Lawn Guide. Everything's up there. Ooh. Man, we're going to get pounded with some rain here. But in those lawn guides, we talk about our split pre-emergent program. Every spring I do this, and I never have a single weed on my lawn. Let me say that again. I never have a single weed on my lawn, and I never have to use weed killers all during the growing season. So what we do is we come out 2 weeks before we're supposed to, and we put out a granular pre-emergent. Then in about 4 or 5 weeks later, we come out with a liquid, and the liquid also has some post-emergent killing fact properties to it. Now, we've done this for years. Never have any weeds, never have any problems with our lawns, and it works out great. We've had some tons of rain come in. My soil has not dried out, and I have not had a good window to put down any pre-emergent, but we've had some really warm temperatures. I mean, I'm over at the farm property planting annual ryegrass, and it's germinating. We're having temperatures up into close to the 70s for the past week. So I want to get some pre-emergent down. So I ordered, or I thought I ordered, my pre-emergent a while back. I didn't order it. So I'm freaking out. So I go online, I order my pre-emergent. It's not going to get here in time. I have a window that shows up. I have this window, where I don't have any rain and I have sun and my soil's drying out, and my pre-emergent, my granular pre-emergent's not going to show up. Then I get a notification from UPS that one of my boxes was lost. I was like, dude. So I've got the liquid pre-emergent on my shelf. I need to kill the Poa Annua that's out here, and I need to get down some pre-emergent. So what I did was I mixed the liquid pre-emergent with some Poa Annua killer, and I came out here and I sprayed it. And that was my solution. So do what I say, don't do what I do. So granular should go down first, then you come back with the liquid. But in this case, I'm actually going to reverse it. Just because crap happens, dude. I mean, shit happens to you, and the same thing for you. You're going to run into situations where you have to adapt, and don't freak out. I was kind of freaking out, and I was working all day at the farm, And then I realized I got to come back here and I got to spray this before the rain comes in. Then I go turn on the water and my irrigation pipe out here blew up. Apparently that freeze broke it, so I had to go back and I had to fix that irrigation pipe. Then I had to mix the stuff. Then I had to come out. I was just exhausted. I was absolutely exhausted. But I got it done. I got that treatment done. Now, a lot of you guys, it's going to depend on where you're located. Now, we're in Middle Georgia, and our pre-emergent date is March 15th. So I always come out the end of February, and that's when I start. The Jumpstart program. We talk about the Jumpstart program in the lawn guides. And the Jumpstart program is when you put out your granular pre-emergent, you put out a little PGF balance, which is a very mild 10-10-10 all fast release. And what that does, it doesn't push your lawn. We're not trying to push our lawns in the spring. We just want to put down a little bit of nutrient on the ground to replace the nutrients that have just basically just washed out all winter long. So that's our Jumpstart program. When you put out your pre-emergent, put out a little balance, a 10-10-10 balance, PGF balance. I'll link to it down below. Once the warm temperatures start to move in, and the growing season starts, then we're going to switch over to PGF Complete, which is our regular fertilizer. And it's pretty simple, and that's it. And guys, as long as you do that simple step, get a good pre-emergent coat down, put down a little balance, and then later on come out with your PGF Complete, you're going to have a great looking yard. Now, all the other problems that come up, like bugs and grubs and disease and whatever, we cover that in the lawn guide. That's separate. But if you don't have those problems, that's pretty much it. We are putting down, now in this yard, I'm not putting down any more human char because we've pounded it down for 2.5 years. So there's tons of carbon in my soil. We're using less and less fertilizers because of that. And we're going to get ready to sell this property. So we're going to keep this property, this Bermuda property, through the spring, and we're going to show you guys how we get this into just perfect shape, really short Bermuda grass, cutting it with reel mowers. The green is surviving. This is actually a dwarf bent grass. The green's looking good. So we want to get this place ready to sell. We want to clean it up. We want to make it presentable. We'll probably be moving into that farmhouse. I'm thinking in maybe 4 to 6 weeks, and we'll be putting in a new lawn there. So we got a lot going on. I'm just going to show you real quick. I'll show you how crazy it was. It's some stupid video of me spraying. So here we go. Oh, man. I am sweating my butt off. And what do I mean by an emergency pre-emergent treatment? Look how ugly this looks. See all the Poa Annua coming up back over here. Now the putting green looks good. Then look over here. I want you to look at this. Look at all this Poa Annua up along the house over here. Now you can see the green dye that I'm using. So I have got a ton of Poa Annua. And the whole purpose of this video was to show you guys how to kill it off and how to put down your pre-emergent. So I am putting down, I am breaking my rule. I am actually going ahead and I'm putting down my liquid pre-emergent, and I'm putting down Certainty, I believe it is, to kill off the Poa Annua. So I don't have a lot of time. I got to get this down before the rain. Basically what I'm doing is I'm taking my tea pitcher. I put, about at least 2.5 gallons of water. I put in my Certainty, which is a granular. Then I put in my Dimension, and then I put in a lot of green dye because I want to make sure with my pre-emergent that I'm getting a good even coat. So you can see I've got my spray bottles around, and you can see that green? I know exactly where I've sprayed, and that's kind of the whole purpose of this. So I got to get going. I'm sorry I can't do more for you guys today on this, but I got to get this down before this rain comes in. I am not spraying my bent grass green. I'm staying away from the green. That's bent grass, and if I want to do any seeding, I need to stay away from that. But you can see the mess I've got back here. Now, you can see the green haze all over this lawn, okay? I've sprayed this whole lawn, but I want to show you just how bad we let this Poa Annua get. Some areas are like this. See this? Look at that. Isn't that crazy? So we just left the yard alone. We haven't done anything to this yard for months. Nothing. And you can see I got a bunch of Poa Annua popping up all over. So my goal when I was talking to Ryan about this is let's let the lawn look like crap. And what we'll do is we'll bring it back to make it look beautiful and treat it. So again, you should, end of February for us. We want to come out 2 weeks before everyone tells us to put our pre-emergent down, put out our granular. Got it? Come out a little bit early with your granular. The next thing you're going to do is wait about 4 weeks, and then you're going to put out the spray that I'm using, because it has pre-emergent, pre and post killing or preventive measures in it. That's it. But I cover all this in the lawn guides, guys. In detail, we cover this. We break this down with calendars, product links. If you have grubs, fungus, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's all there, so use it. So my garage is an absolute mess because we're getting ready to move, but I want to show you. So here's my tea pitcher. This is what I'm mixing it in. And I used Dimension. This is the Dimension 2EW. This is what I'm using in here. Water. I linked to that. Not the water, I linked to the Dimension. Little laser green dye, I linked to this. We always use this with spray pre-emergence. We want to know we sprayed. And then the Certainty, it's a little teeny bottle of Certainty, and that's for the Poa Annua. Mix it all up. I'm putting it in 20-to-1 spray bottles. These are online. 21 spray bottles. And they should only cost you, for 2 of them, delivered to your door, about 19 bucks. Got it? Someone puts them up there too high. That's how much you should be able to buy them. All right, so real quick, let me tell you. Sorry. Point the camera at your face, Tuck. So first of all, I went inside and I grabbed that bottle of Certainty for you. This is what it looks like. This teeny little bottle, got it? This bottle treats an entire acre, basically. That's basically what it happens. Whew. Okay, guys, so it's about 2 or 3 days after that video was shot. And I'm out here in the rain, it's drizzling. And last night we had a ton of rain. We've got 2 days of rain. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know if you can see that. I got pooling. I always have areas that are just saturated with soil. You've got to put it down on a dry soil, number one. But what you need to do, depending on your area, is find out what your pre-emergent date is. I always, on the page, I'll link to that pre-emergent map. Come out a little bit early with your granular. When you do that, put out the PGF balance as well. Wait about 4 weeks and then put out your spray. Now, one of the reasons why I don't like putting out spray right now is I've got all this dead dry grass. Well, how much of that pre-emergent is actually being absorbed by that dead grass and not going into the soil? That's another concern I have. So that's why we always come out with a granular first. When we do our granular, put down a little PGF balance and just put a little bit of nutrients in the soil for when your lawn wakes up. And then about 4 weeks later, we'll come out with a spray. And usually I do my spray after I scalp. Got it? So after my scalp, I get all this brown off. I open up that ground and I stir up weed seeds again. I'm going to come out and I'm going to hit it with that spray. So anyways, get the guides. Hope this helped. I'm going inside. It's starting to get cold and wet out here. Talk to you later. Bye.